Hello everybody, good evening. Welcome to the stream. It's me, Digi. We're doing another bit of Digi After Dark Dev in Blender. I'm working on some buildings for Higginsville Industrial Municipal Airport. And these were buildings that I released when FS 2024 dropped in November? Yeah, November 2024. Crazy. But I'm trying to tweak and improve on them based on the info that we have. So I'm trying to, add more details. Also, it's been a while since I actually streamed, so I wanted to, share time with you guys, share a little bit of the stuff that I've been up to. So let's see. Where are my bookmarks? I need the street view for Higginsville. I added some details to building 1. Now I want to add some details to building 2. Now, I am going to be transparent and say that the details are not going to be, utterly perfect. In fact, they're going to be flat out incorrect in spots. But I wanted to add some details, get my chops back, and keep at this because reasons, and because an old friend of mine would probably be like, hey, keep at it. Yeah, because I still got plenty of stuff to do. Now, hey, HK, good to see you, my friend. This airport is Higginsville Industrial Municipal Airport. And let me see. I can potentially open up another view and take you there in a mapping site of choice. Let me go there now. So if I can do that, I probably use my browser window and show you. So I should have the browser window. There were 2 versions. There was one for FS 2020 and there was one for FS 2024. The 2024 release I did literally about a month after the 2024 release dropped. So these are the buildings that I use. Okay, yes. So these buildings are basically for 2024. Although theoretically there's nothing stopping me from being able to export them for 2020. I just have to make sure I have the right settings for the exporter, which I haven't installed in Blender 4.2. But technically, I think I can use it for both versions. Hey, Lyle, it's good to see you. Welcome. Let me try to find the browser window. Oh, hold on. Give me the... Where's the browser? There we go. All right, so you're looking at Higginsville Industrial Municipal Airport. So it's just one runway, a parking area, hangars, and just a few buildings. So the 2024 release I made included custom everything, but they were low detail polys, so I'm trying to make this a bit better. Yeah, time does fly. But welcome. And Jesus Christ is definitely Good to know. So, we're in Blender, we're messing around here, and I need to figure out how to actually make better details. Goodness, I'm tired. Oh, you know what? I have the ability to make better details. Let's start. Now, the roadside details of the hangar are, I don't know, left to the imagination. So I have to figure out how to add details where I don't see any. In other words, this is going to get interesting. Oh man. So I need to do a few things. I need to create an awning for this doorway and make a door. And I need to get started. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to see how wide this entryway is. So, hmm, this isn't going to help me per se. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to use a little technique I call artistic license. Suitable for those times when you want to get something done and you don't care. Not that I don't care about my craft, I'm just saying I want to get something done and not stress thinking about dimensions or stuff like that too much. So, let's see. An awning like that, and I'm yawning like that. how how thick would this be? Let's see. What is 10 inches? 10 inches is not bad. That's probably suitably thick for a, like sheetrock or concrete. What's that? Oh, I did I move it? Oh, the bag is on your cart. Do me get it for you? All right. Stand by chat. Popcorn time. All right, I'm back, chat. Also just putting some eye drops on one of my eyes. Super itchy right now. Wow. It it's most likely a direct consequence of, I don't know. I think we've had a really good run on pollen this year in my area. I mean, you guys know I live in the Mid-Atlantic region, and we've had a really good spring. Good balance of, rain and sunny days. I mean, at the beginning it was kind of dry, but then we got into this kind of stretch where it just alternated a bit, and I think the flowers came in really strong. The trees, like the leaves came in, and then basically, where we are. But I'm just saying the the pollen was just like persistent and strong. Was pretty good. All right, so not going to worry too much about not putting any materials in this awning yet. I need to also make some beams, some supports for the awning over the doorway. How am I going to do that? The least expensive option would probably be to use a rectangle, like a really thin rectangle that's actually stretched out. But I think I'm going to go, well, does it really matter? No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. All right, so let's see. We're going to do side awning, and then basically we're going to add the lines to keep it up. Okay, these lines will obviously be very small. And probably even smaller than that. So let's see, 0.05, which I don't know what the conversion is, but I'm probably going to go ahead and assume these are like 2 inches in diameter, or 2 inches square. Yeah, there we go. Wow. what? What? Oh, I see. uh, Late night snack time, and one of my cats likes to be involved in all the human food consumption. I don't know if you guys have pets that like to horn in on like snack time because they like people food. I have a cat that's just like that. So 45-degree angle, does that make sense? Yes, it does. But this needs to be longer. At least one end of it has to be. All right. Is it easier for me to just use? Yeah, that's easy. Okay. Now, it has been a while since I've actually gotten very comfortable using Blender. So, fair warning right off the bat, I'm going to be a bit of a rookie at this for a few weeks at least while I get back in shape. You might ask, well, Digi, what happened? Or where'd you go? I didn't really go anywhere. It was more like the point was, hey, I was like interested in other things, I guess you could say. So I talked about this in my Discord last night, actually, and just bouncing back and forth between, different priorities and getting stuff done at work. But I'd say I'm in a better spot now. Let's see. Can I do this? Theoretically, yeah. And are we good for... Yeah, I think we're good for the awning. So, side awning support 1. Right, so we'll keep it brief. 2022 I was a flight sim streamer and I was looking for kind of like a new challenge, or just not a new challenge, but I was just looking for it to make sense for me. It just started, repeating and just kind of like folding in on itself. And I didn't want to keep like the same thing up. So I discovered scenery development and I decided to give it a shot. And I started doing that more and more. And then I started putting some scenery out on flightsim.co. And then eventually I decided to try my hand at actually making a payware scenery, and it worked. And some people bought the scenery, and I was just like, wow, like I can make money doing this, which was kind of like the kiss of doom for my pursuit, because I was just like, well, I can make money doing it, so it's got to be possible. And then I promptly burned out a few months later. I didn't give up on the idea. I just got busy with life and other stuff that I wanted to accomplish. And I was just like, well, I don't know if this is going to pan out. So I kind of let it go for a little while. Now, okay, glass material, roof, and siding. The top of this could actually use siding. Let's see. Let's see. You can actually assign siding to it. Ooh, I can. Look at that. Now, what I could probably do is take the bottom and make it a standard material. Assign that. And look at that. Just like that, we have a textured awning. Again, not utterly perfect, but we'll take what we can get. Now, the trick to this is I want to just slide it in place enough to make this be symmetrical. And in theory, we can make the excuse that says, oh, well, the pieces aren't perfect. Like, if I scale it down a little bit more, I might be fine. Yeah, it's almost like, yeah, imperfect but doable. I'll come back for different materials for this a little bit later, but we're already adding more detail than existed before. And this is a door, so I'm gonna have to take this window treatment here and kind of surround it with some metal pieces so that it looks like something. And in order for that to happen, I need to work on this like a door. I'm going to select this actual polygon and turn it into a separate selection. And we're going to call this side door 1. Okay, with that done, I can select this. I can select the entire texture and start kind of like folding it in on itself. Technically, I didn't need to, but at the same time, I'm glad I did. Let me take a look at this. That's not bad. I don't think I'm going to get people going, oh, well, the doorway isn't set up perfectly. No. Usually the most critical voice in my head is my own, saying, oh, it's not perfect. Like, go back and do it again. And sometimes this is not the way it works out. But it's fun to mess around with this stuff. And because I made this polygon its own and separated it from the other polygons I worked on, I can fold it, and then I think I can bevel this. Yes. Okay. That's actually not bad. Now, the point of tonight's stream is not to actually finish multiple buildings in one shot. These are more like, if it can be believed, these are more like therapy sessions for me in terms of, getting reaccustomed or reacquainted with the tools and all the things I want to do. And if I assign material to them, then now we have actual frames for these things. Now, the thing I need to watch out for, of course, is what appears to be missing materials. Oh no, we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. I was under the impression that I was missing something. Okay, good, good. I might have to mess around with the materials a bit more to get them to behave, but again, texturing is not tonight's subject. I just want to add more details and add them quickly. And I think I have this. I think I have this under control now. So I have a side door, and I need to add a couple door handles so that you can actually open these. I don't know if you open these from the middle or from the sides. I want to say from the middle, which means I need a couple of really tiny cylinders. And again, not stressing the construction. I am merely creating the idea. Thank you, HK. Actually, she's getting really close to the first of some upcoming medical procedures, which might actually help her get back on her feet again, if it can be believed. And Lord willing, I pray that's the case, because that means that she'll be able to get back on her feet, do a lot of things she's been meaning to do, and get back to a much better place physically. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm not sure what the what the plan is, so to speak, but our Heavenly Father knows. Exactly how that's going to work, I don't know, but I know He knows. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm seriously hoping that happens. It hasn't happened yet, to say that, we haven't gotten to the point where she is back on her feet. But let me expand the Z-axis. Let's see, is that too big? I'm gonna assume it's not. I'm also gonna assume it's not too high. So we'll figure out better placement once I start getting some. I walk over to it as an avatar and see myself with relationship to the door size. So what I could probably do is minimize this. Move this over. Keep minimizing it until it's small enough to fit two in here. And honestly, that's not bad. Let's see. Yep. Again, perfection is not what's being pursued tonight. All right. So, side door 1, handle 1, and we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to create door handle 2. And we're going to slide it over. And there we go. Now, don't ask me how this is an easy door handle to open. Again, this is not a an elaboration of what I should be making in the sense of figuring out how physics and actual door jams work. This is just a rapid prototyping of what I'm going for. But that's not bad. And that's like, 30 minutes in and we've got a door. Hey, crafty. Craftin. Good to see you, my friend. I am not playing Minecraft right now, but I do like having the menu open so I can listen to the music it plays. It's kind of like a nice way to listen to music and just and create. The alternative is to turn the ASMR or the sounds in the flight sim way up. So if you're at an airport, oh, and actually that's a good segue. The ambient sounds in FS 2024 are on another level over FS 2020. FS 2024 sounds like at night you hear crickets in the summer or in the spring. When it rains, like you hear it now, like way more than before. Nice emotes, HK. Nice. Yeah, Crafton, you really hear the music. The music. You really hear the sound effect, the ambient sounds in MSFS at this point. The new stuff, anyway. Okay, now, I'm probably gonna install a meter somewhere here. So let's go ahead and add another cube. Oh, wait. No. I need to do this. That's better. That's cool, man. I tell you, I will be very transparent. I'm trying to pay way more attention to my desire to fly or not fly in the sim. Now, my desire to create scenery, it's born of other things or other ideas I'm working on. It's it's um, partially, my pursuit, but it's also born of a desire to want to share, new projects and new creations with people. There was a time when like I would sit at my desk and honestly wrestle with the idea of flying versus playing something else. And that's more because that's more because I want to, like not do everything perfectly. I do. It's perfectionism. I gotta get rid of it. But you know how like you sit down and you want to do something, and you want to have fun with it and you want to like figure everything out, but then you spend like 30 or 45 minutes deciding, what game you're going to play. And when you get to that point, it's almost like all the fun gets sucked out and you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I have had evenings where I'm fine, I'm chill, I'm, I'm in control of like whatever flight I'm doing. There's nothing else going around me, and I'll reach a point during the flight. I'm not on stream when I'm doing this, but like I'm off stream, and I'm like, you know what? I'm bored. So I will literally stop a flight during cruise because I'm just like, no, no, this doesn't work out. And guess what? That's normal. I mean, that's normal to me. But it's like, like you don't have to ostracize yourself for being like, oh my goodness, I stopped mid-flight. I quit the flight. I'm a loser. You're not a loser. You know what you are? Just got bored. You decided you don't want to do it anymore. That's fine. That's unbelievably fine. Now, usually, my ratio of completed flights to aborted flights is usually fairly low. But I mean, I have had my fair share of for lack of a better phrase, ditched attempts because I'm just like, I'm not feeling this. It's happened. Believe me, it's happened. Let's see where there we go. All right. So you're a little bit off the ground. I'm gonna bury this a little bit more. Okay. Somewhere in the middle. Unless you're an IRL pilot. I thought about the way IRL pilots use flight sim, and I gotta figure they most likely use it to get reconnaissance of an area they're going to be flying to in real life. But I think IRL pilots don't really use a simulator for much else unless they want to do, absolutely free, failure simulation, and they have a professional grade model of an aircraft they'll be flying or something like that. But I figure what most of them do is probably just figure out the way things are going to look when they're actually ready to land the plane. That's my guess. I don't think they're gonna, use it for any kind of realism training because they have like a, you know, multiple $1 million simulator at their home base that they can go to and have somebody officially run failures with them. I used to do long hauls too. I think I stopped because I think I broke my brain. And you're gonna laugh. Like the longest haul that I ever did was like 6.5 hours. And I mean, for some people, that's just like, not even. Like they're gonna say, dude, you think 6.5 hours is a long haul? Try like, LA to Sydney. Try Seattle to uh, 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 Singapore. Like those are long hauls. And I would have to agree with you. There was a time when I had the stomach and the stamina to be able to sit in front of my computer, flying a flight on stream with even fewer people than this, by myself, talking into the air for like, 5, 6, 7 hours at a clip. And I think after I flew Boston to San Diego in X-Plane 11 in a 747, I think my brain shifted. Heathrow to Hong Kong. Wow. Nice. I mean, hey, if that is your definition of fun, I am not judging. Rock on. Like, that's fantastic that people actually model that. For me, I get to the point where I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm satisfied. After one flight, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I was doing a world tour, which is currently, ground stopped in like Brazil. After flying from like Vancouver to Narita to, um, where was it? I think I went to Singapore, then New Delhi, then Turkey, and then I think Frankfurt and Istanbul, not Istanbul, Marrakesh, Marrakesh, and then I think Tenerife, and then a couple places in Brazil. So I accelerated time for those ops, um, and had an okay time doing them. But now I'm back in a place where I'm just like, you know what? I want to create. I want to make objects. I want to build airports for people. And that came from an impetus that I saw that people weren't building airports that were being requested, and I wanted to do that for people. So that's what happened. Nice. San Fran to Vegas is nice. That's a pretty cool flight, or at least it sounds fantastic, and it most likely is a great flight. I usually frequent the East Coast of the states more than the West Coast. I mean, I'm mid-Atlantic. I live in the U.S. and I do try to vary or mix things up a bit so that I don't wind up flying the exact same flights over and over. That's like, to me, that's a one-way ticket to flights and burnout. But I also like to mix things up and fly in Europe and fly in the Caribbean and fly different sims. I recently bought like basically a 512 gig NVMe drive, and I moved X-Plane 12 over into it. So now I have a little bit more room to expand because I still have FS 2020 installed. I still have FS 2024 installed. Theoretically, I could reinstall P3D if I really wanted to, but I'm starting to see way less of a need for me to do that, because even if I want to fly a 787, I can do that in 2020. I could reinstall P3D just to fly the 717 and a few business jets, but I also don't want to download and install a whole bunch of stuff. And the airports in P3D, even P3D V5.4, are probably getting dated at this point. So I would be using P3D specifically for a very specific use case that I don't even remember anymore. So to each their own. I mean, the option is still there for me if I want it, but I'm not worried about it. Between 2020, 2024, and X-Plane 12, I've got enough Sims. Nice. That's cool. That's cool. I used to do Flight Simulator X Steam Edition on a tablet. And the fun thing about a tablet is you can touch the screen and flip switches, which I enjoyed. Okay, energy meter reader. All right, so we've got that. I'll probably start adding textures to those things over time. I've got the meter. I need, ooh, I could add a whole bunch of stuff to this. I think I'm going to add either a camera or a light up here. Only thing is, I don't know how to make the curve look good on the pipe, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this with a couple of 90-degree bends. Let me do this. Okay, just save my work, and let me grab a cylinder. I'm just chucking these cylinders out left, right, and center. Ooh, wow. A 787 for long haul? Now you're talking. As you can tell, I'm a 787 fanboy. Let me think. I actually don't want a cylinder for this. I'm going to use a cube because I don't care about realistic, you know, piping for the camera. When you look at the top of a building. The 787 is one of the reasons why I still have FS 2020 installed. But yeah, if somebody can make a good payware version of the 7.8, they're gonna make a lot of people happy. I would imagine. Okay. Oh man, it's been a while since I enjoyed doing scenery dev. I'm happy to be back. I really am happy to be back. Let's see. Corner, camera, um, cabling 1. And then we're going to duplicate this and rotate this 90 degrees. And make that 2. 2024 has a 7.8. It does. You just have to do the same thing you did with 2020. If you want the 787 in 2024, you need to get the Premium Deluxe Edition. It's the same thing I did in 2020. When 2020 came out, I bought the Premium Deluxe Edition. If when 2020 released, they would have released a Aviator edition that had like swag, I would have probably bought the swag at the time. That's how much I was guzzling the Kool-Aid. But when 2024 released, I bought the standard edition because I figured I'd be making airport sceneries, which I did. I mean, I did make, Hickinsville, but the standard edition does not include the 7.8. It includes several aircraft, but it does not include 787. So you need to pony up the money for the 7.8 via the Premium Deluxe Edition if you want it. Otherwise, you won't be able to use it, and you can't get by it by trying to import. At least I don't think you can get by it by trying to import the 2020 787 into 2024 and installing the Horizon mod. I think it has to be the 7.8 from the sim itself, and I think it has to do with the differences and the updates that they've done to texturing, and probably the I don't know, WASM or XML that controls it, because in theory I can fly the 787 from 2020 in 2024, but the liveries are not going to be reflective. Oh yeah, Crafton, thanks for correcting me. They have a 787 again in 2024, but apparently there's a bit of an issue with the upgrades. And to be honest, if I paid for the Premium Deluxe Edition of 2024 and I discovered that the 2024 787 was like that locked up that you couldn't actually integrate it well with freeware updates or mods, I would have probably been low-key disappointed. Yeah, yeah. Has to be the premium version, and apparently it's a little bit, what's the phrase? Not, I don't want to say hamstrung, but I mean that's kind of the case. The SDK or whatever it is that they're using apparently does not do the thing, which again kind of sucks. Now again, I could be so far off base, and somebody's already created, mods for it and stuff like that. I sure hope that's the case. I really do hope that's the case. But I don't I don't know. I don't know.
Brace yourself.
Oh, we got a raid. Hey, Lost Lake coming in with two. My friend, welcome in. We are actually talkie this evening. We have a microphone. We're using it. I know it's crazy. I am doing 3D development in Blender for Microsoft Flight Sim, and I am working on adding some features to some buildings. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I hope you had a good stream. Hope that you had a chance to chill out. I'm trying to chill out myself. I'll probably be on for like another, 15 minutes, I want to say. But then I'm gonna dip and I don't know, chill a little bit. Maybe do a little bit of a set of course offline and just drive before I go to bed and get ready for the rest of the work week, which tomorrow's my Friday. Um, you know, the traditional Friday is a Friday, but some people's Friday is like like a Wednesday or a Thursday or something like that. You know what I mean? The their Friday is a different day of the week because of the work schedule they keep. So such is life. Meanwhile, I'm trying to fake creating a mount for a security camera high atop a hangar in one place, one of possibly many places. Sounds like a good chill 15 minutes. Indeed. Indeed. Oh, by the way, Lost Lake, just want to say it's nice to see you um, doing Minecraft stuff. I really enjoyed having you like in the background and lurking for a little bit a few days ago while you were working on like, projects and yeah, like hit me up on like Discord or talk to me more about the pending Minecraft project or ideas that you and Kaon have in case you want like a third wheel over there. I can't promise that I'm going to be spending a lot of time there, but if you're open to have people occasionally come in and say hi and stuff like that, not on stream but just in your world, then I wouldn't mind finding out more about it. I did drop in on my friend Pierluck when he had a Minecraft spot for a little while before he took it down. But yeah, like if you have questions or not that you would have questions about how to do stuff, you guys know how to do stuff. But if you have questions or you want to find out who's interested, I'd be interested to find out more. Yeah, yeah, I know you guys have been like working on that specific area for a long time. So, I mean, first off, hats off to you for your persistence, for one, and two, thanks for sharing the journey. Corner camera sphere or corner camera lens. There we go. All right. Today is mostly prototyping, adding new items to the buildings that we have over here. And I'm probably going to add textures and more cabling and stuff, which is why I'm like yapping and adding new things. Yap, yap. Cylinder, there we go. Yeah. My brain didn't want to work for a hot mo. Wake up, brain. Wake up. Nope, gotta be why. Why? Because. Dad jokes. All right. Now, I forget what these things are on the sides of buildings that look like um, big pencil batteries. I think this is like a really old school, um, a really old school, I don't know, a heat pump maybe? A heat pump instead of like a complete HVAC. And basically they have like vents on the sides. Again, this is mainly like an extremely low budget prototype, but I'm probably going to work on the shape at some point just so I can see vents on the side of that thing. Let's take a look at the positioning. That's actually not bad work, but let me clean it up a bit. Yeah, it's probably not going to be around ground level, but it's definitely going to be something that either pumps in heat or pumps out cold or very warm air and stuff there. I forget exactly how it works, but that's the idea. And I'm just going to call it a heat pump for now, and then we're going to say hanger heat pump, and we're going to come back to it at some point. All right, thanks for the lurk, my friend. Hopefully you have a nice, chill out time with the kiddo. And yeah, man, stay in touch and definitely let me know about the Minecraft stuff coming up. God bless you. Love your soul, buddy. Okay, now, do I want to handle building more cabling or do I want to rig a quick lightning rod up? I might do that. That'll probably be it for me for tonight. And I'll probably work on these polygons or these buildings more offline over the weeks ahead. So what I need to do is basically create a really slender cylinder here, which is going to serve as my lightning rod. And then we're going to save the building. And we're going to add it into the sim at some point, just not tonight. Okay. Let's make this crazy tall and then squish it. Keep making it crazy tall and squish it. All right. So if a meter is 1 point something feet, then that's probably like 12 feet. Let's see. No, that was like 2.5 times that. That was like 30 some odd feet. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Because 1 foot is 0.3 meters. Right. Now, how big is a typical lightning rod? I'd probably say a typical lightning rod's like maybe 6 or 7 feet. Just making a wild guess here. All right. Where would this go? Probably on the very tip. Okay. This lightning rod and my belly have a very similar relationship. They are quite big. It needed to lose some thickness. So do I. Alright. Maybe we'll line this up with the last metal stem. Is that too far? No, actually it's about bang on. Yeah. Okay, now I just need to move this up. There we go. Now, there's like 1 or 2 layers of thickness before some kind of either wind vane at the top. I'm not sure where they would put a wind vane on top of a lightning rod, but I don't know. I feel more comfortable about the dimensions of the lightning rod now. And 1.3. 1.3 would be almost 4 times the size. So yeah, let's see. 1.3 meters. That would be... So that's 4 feet. Really? 4 feet. Wow. Okay. Or almost 5 feet, or something like that. Okay. And I could probably duplicate this and make a smaller piece on top. So I'm going to say lightning rod 1, duplicate it, and make a lightning rod 2 piece, which is going to be even skinnier. Don't ask me why, just that's what we're going for here. And like it needs to be ridiculously, like you're gonna wonder, well not wonder, but it's gonna be, there's gonna be a marked difference. Yeah, actually that's good. Let's see what the difference is. Yeah, actually, is that a good ratio? Let me reduce the height of this. Yeah, it actually looks like that lightning rod's significantly taller. So I'm going to select both of these. We're going to bring them up massively. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's like another 6 feet of lightning rod. No, I don't need that much. 1, 2, 3. That should be fine. So it's kind of like how I had it before. Yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. Before I started the stream, I didn't even know how I was going to approach doing anything, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I mean, I knew I wanted to finish everything, but obviously that wasn't going to happen. So I'm glad that we got some stuff done tonight. I will save this, try to import it into the sim tomorrow and see what the changes look like, and then we'll keep going. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and save my changes. This is a pretty good stopping point for this revision number. And then we're going to probably continue to do smaller iterations of dev streams next week and do them silently, because silence does 2 things. You might think, oh no, Digi's not going to talk on stream, it's horrible. Having a no talkie stream allows me to pick up and put down the mouse whenever I need to. I mean, not that I couldn't do it now, but the point I'm making is when you make the stream a certain way, you can go into and out of flow state really easily. So picture it this way. Picture it this way. Picture working on something, but instead of being in an environment where like you're explaining things to people, if for example you just spend time working on your craft and you do like a silent stream or like an ASMR stream where the sim ambient sounds are working, then what happens is you kind of like, you know, you're in the flow. People people will see you doing your thing and they can ask you questions, or my friends can come in and say, hey, try this effect or try this method, and then I can stop, look at chat, and go, oh great, thanks, I'll do this, or I can explain what's going on. But that lets me take comments as they come and focus on getting one or two things done in a particular stream. That also gives me the perfect opportunity to stream more and do it in chunks or in ways that allow me to focus at points and step back and do other things. Now, tonight's stream was cool because I played music, I talked to you guys, we hung out. There's a great use case for both types of engagements. Like talkie streams like this, let me explain what I'm doing, some of the things that I'm going for, and you guys can bounce ideas off of me, I can bounce ideas off of you. The lab, the really like deep lab work is when I want to cover ground and I want to do repetitive things and just give you guys a window into what I'm doing, kind of like having a studio audience for like a radio show. The person in the booth is doing the radio show and they're like fully invested, they're going for it, they're getting after it, but the audience gets the benefit of seeing them do their work, and they don't interact with the radio host, but they basically see what they're doing. So in one sense you could say this was the opposite, not the opposite, but basically different than what a typical quiet stream is. But even with this format, we still got more than a few things built, so that's good. I want to look at what other things I can do soon, but I've got like 2 or 3 more building types to review, and this is basically like a level 2 upgrade in terms of details. And then eventually I will open up the hangars which exist for this airport as well. And if you're curious about the project, it is on flightsim.to, and you can look up Higginsville Industrial Municipal Airport, and I can give you the link right now just so you can get an idea. There was a version for FS 2020, but I'm going to give you the link for the FS 2024 version if you're interested in looking at that. Also, I'm going to try to push another change to this particular library at some point in the near future. So let me put this in chat over here. Here we are. And then you'll be able to take a look at that once I push the latest changes. And they're basically, minor updates to the buildings. I'm going to make sure that there's more taxi signs. I'm going to try to do a little bit of cleanup or make things look a little bit better even. And eventually I'm going to want to make things look really good. But version 2.0 is going to be, a basic improvement, a slight bump in visual graphics. So we'll see how it turns out. Now, that's about it for me. I'll be probably working on this quietly either tomorrow or on Saturday, provided I have a little bit of time. If I have a little bit of time on Saturday afternoon, I probably will work on this. But more likely than not, I'm probably just going to take a break on Saturday, maybe do a teensy bit of it off stream. But I'm probably going to be doing either some trucking or some racing or something like that. If that's the case, or if I decide to do a flight, then there'll be more of a use case for me to actually stream and share time. But look to the Discord for more information. I'm probably going to continue to do DevOps weeknights, and then we'll see. Folks, a privilege hanging out with you tonight. I'm going to go ahead and power down. Like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. My friends, enjoy the rest of your night. Happy Friday to those of you that are already in Friday. If you're like, in Sydney or like, in Tokyo, you're already looking at Friday afternoon, so your weekend's well on the way. Mine's got a little bit more to go, but then hopefully good things. I do have to get some adult stuff done. I got to take my car to get checked out, and otherwise, I'll probably see you guys around the Twitchverse if for some reason I'm not streaming this weekend. And again, like I said, watch my space on Discord for more info and updates. And if by some chance you have not joined my Discord and you would like to be a part of it, you can also go here and click in, join, and then basically uh, you can get insights from me with regards to just projects I'm working on, random ramblings, my life, my faith as a follower of Jesus Christ, and just the daily ramblings of Digi's brain. So take it easy, my friends. Rest well. I'm gonna head on off for tonight. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in and saying hello or lurking quietly. Definitely want to let you guys know. Um, I heart lurkers. You guys bring visibility, and I appreciate you. I'll probably be around and might even drop it on some of your streams in the future. But definitely stay tuned for more. Take it easy, my friends. Have a great rest of your day or evening. And until next time, I'll see you.